friends. It's Arlene here from Stitching in the Fens. My name is Arlene Wild, and this is my channel, which is mostly about cross stitch and my other hobbies that I get up to from time to time. For those of you who are new to the channel, thank you so much for subscribing and tuning in. Hope you like what you see. For my returning subscribers, a very, very warm welcome. Hope you all had a wonderful Christmas and a Happy New Year to you all. Sorry I'm a bit late. I had wanted to film this about 2 weeks ago, but unfortunately, life gets in the way. In my case, I got a nasty chest infection. So, to be honest with you, I've been in my bed by doctor's orders, really, from 2 days after Boxing Day. And I only started to come out and about 4 days ago. So I hope I don't cough all over you. I had 2 courses of antibiotics. And to be honest with you, it was awful. I was coughing so much. The first week, I had to take codeine because really, my ribs and everything was so bruised. I was in so much pain. But at least, as I said to my friend, at least I didn't have a sickle cell siege. So that's good. That's good. Now, I'm hoping these lights aren't causing too much problems. Let me move them a little bit. Let's just move them. We have new lights. Well, Simon is lent me these new lights. But I'm conscious of the fact of my glasses. The glasses always is such a pain with the lights, isn't it? So hopefully, you're not seeing too much of a reflection in the lights. Anyway, we had a before we get into it, because we're going to be doing a whip parade. We all like a good whip parade. We're going to do a whip parade and talk about my plans and everything. But before we get into that, back to Christmas. We had a nice Christmas. It was good. It was different. Not quite what we planned, but you know, the best laid plans and all the rest of it. So what happened was, Brittany and her partner, they came from London and came down quite nice and early. And the plan, we knew that was going to happen, which is great. And we were going to have Christmas dinner early because Charlie, he was going to go back to London to his family, on Christmas Eve. He was going to go on the train, right? So we had it all planned, and they were going to stay in the caravan because, you know, they live on their own. And you know how it is. We only live in a small cottage, and I thought it'd be nice to give them that bit of space. So we did up the caravan. Well, I did all nice and put bubbly in there and chocolates and fairy lights, and it was really cute. And like they had like charcuterie and all sorts in the fridge, right? Did it up all nice, and they were so chuffed, you know, because they worked really hard and they were working right up to the end. So it was going to be like a little holiday for them. So the first day they went off to London, which was sorry, not London. Teeth back in. They went to Lincoln to see the cathedral and went up to the old part of the city. Lincoln is such a beautiful city. If ever you get a chance to come to this area, I can very much recommend Lincoln. Or lovely, lovely, cherished city. Anyway, so they went there, they had lunch, did all the nice romantic stuff. So they had 2 days here, and then all changed. Basically, sadly, Charlie's grandma took a turn. She had a massive stroke, and she lives in Buckinghamshire, so which is a few counties up, about, I don't know, hour and a half from here. So Charlie said, well, I don't want to ruin your Christmas. I'll tell you what, I'll just go on the train and go and see her and say goodbye and everything. And I said to Brittany, I looked at both of them, I said, look, here's the thing. I can't tell you what to do, but the two of you are a couple and you need to support each other. We'll have other Christmases. We can make it up. It'll be fine. But poor Granny, she mightn't have another Christmas. So we bundled them into their car, packed them up quickly. They left their bubbly behind, but I've still got it. And off they went. So, you know, so they headed off. So it was just us, the two of us, me, Simon, Theo, which is my elder one, my son, and the cats for Christmas. So we had quite a sort of very informal Christmas. I know we have a very formal one, but you know what I mean. It was more of a dusty Christmas. No elf was here to do the tree, so I had to do the tree, but it turned out okay. And you know, if you had seen the video that I did for Christmas, the Christmas wishing you all a Merry Christmas video, that was shown. So yeah, so that was okay. As I said, it's terrible about the chest infection. At least I didn't end up in hospital, which is quite good, but it still managed to pinch some of my winter. However, my hands were working, so therefore I could stitch, right? So that was all right, and I did a lot of stitching. Only sad thing was I had wanted to do quite a bit of work on my Chris Duns, on my full coverages. No way. In fact, I've got, when I do the whip parade in a minute, I'll show you what I've been working on. So funny. One of my samplers, which you had seen in the last time I showed you my work in progress, right? I completely messed it up. It was far too complicated to be doing under the influence of strong pain relief. It wasn't good. So anyway, I've got that to frog. I haven't frogged it yet, but I'll show you where it is that I've messed up. But I did stitch on mostly things that were straightforward. You know, I did a lot of work on my samplers and other things. So I got quite a bit of stitching done, and of course a bit of shopping, because, you know, what's a girl to do? She's in bed with her laptop, and he has PDF sales, you know. So I did a few things, one or two new starts and all the rest of it. So the other thing, before we get plunged in, I've got different hair. So, you know, you will get used to me. I do change up my hair. So I've got different extensions, got different hair, which is quite nice. It's quite nice and long, so it's nice for the winter. So I quite like that. Nice and easy. And the other funny thing, and I might as well show you, because you're going to have to deal with them while I'm showing you everything, right? So then, because I hadn't been that well, right, I thought, I'm going to cheer myself up. So I decided to do some add-on nails. Now, those of you who know me on my channel, you know I'm an artist, right? And I'm a working artist. I haven't got time for no pretty nails. I mean, I try and polish them. I'm going to try. But, you know, certainly I haven't got time for long nails, right? But over Christmas, Brittany convinced me to have some, and it looked really good. So I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to put them nails on, you know. I'm going to do my nails. So, shall we show you the nice hand? Look at that. And I was looking at them and I'm thinking, ooh, that looks nice. I could get used to those. Oh, yeah. So, over the weekend, right, having been up and about again, and we have so much to do in the outbuildings and getting our studios ready and all the rest, all that jazz, I was helping Simon, right, sort out his workshop because he's going to dry line it. Wait for it. Look. One missing. Well, two missing now. That one was broken. I don't think this is suiting my lifestyle. I learned to stitch with it. I did. But anyway, enough of that. We've got a lot to see. So let us jump in and see what is in the whip parade. Now, before I start, I just wanted to say, right, what I've decided to do, I've been doing a lot of soul searching about this whip parade. I've had enough time lying in bed thinking about it, right, of how I'm going to approach 2025. And I have decided that my legacy whips, now when I talk about legacy whips, I'm talking about the main estate of my whips. So like when I did my first Flosstube, I think I did a very long 3-part whip parade, right? Because I've got a few whips. Anyway, when I did that, right, I had quite a bit, I don't know, maybe 60 of them. I have no idea. A lot of them are pre-2024, okay? So I've decided the legacy estate, I'm not even looking at it. I went through it and I've decided I'm not looking at it. I am going to focus on this pool of work, which mostly is more recent. And I suppose what I'm trying to say is I did take some out of the legacy. Some of them I've put on ice. Now, none of them have gone anywhere. I put them on ice. Some of them I've put in a pool, which during this year, I'm going to pull from bit by bit. Because I find I want to try and focus on getting finishes, okay? And I'm finding some of them quite distracting because I like them, but they have various issues or whatever. So I've decided to pull out a pool of whips that are doable, you know, so I can get some results. So it's still quite a few, but yeah. And then we'll bring in more as we go along. So the whips I'm going to show you are the whips that I'm planning to focus on for Q1, so the first 3 months of this year, and probably Q2 as well. In Q2, at the end of Q2, so that's about June, we're going to do another broadcast and we're going to review the situation. Okay, so let's jump in. Okay, so in no particular order, I'm just going to grab them as they are and show you the bags as well. A nice soft velvet bag, which I got from Amazon. It's actually a cosmetic bag. Oh, and the first one to come out is the one that I need to frog. So this one, you saw it last time. There it is there. Hope you can see it. Lights are very bright. These are some new photographic lights that Simon has got. So he thought that it might help me with Flosstube. So that one there, which is the floral, I think it's called, hold on, sorry about this. It is from the Cross Stitch Guild, and it is called the Hedgerow Sampler. Showed it last time. So this was the one I thought it would be a good idea to work on, right? Just get my board. When I was on codeine. That wasn't a good idea. That did not go well at all. So my progress at the moment, so I'm working from the top down. That is my progress. Okay. And it's down here. I've got to frog out all of that. That's not right. It's not right at all. So there's my progress there. I don't know about this. I hope this isn't blown out, guys. Okay. Because these lights, I'm not used to them. So that's my progress. That's my nice needle minder there, I think from Denkai Designs. So I'm pleased with that. That's been worked on a 28 count linen. It's from the Cross Stitch Guild. They do sell online, and they only sell kits. So it came with everything I needed. Let's see if I can show you the colors, if I've got them here. If I don't, I apologize. Oh, yes. So these are the colors here. So it comes on these cards. If I can lay them out for you. So I hope you got some stitching to do. Nice cup of tea. I've got water. Because we've got quite a bit to go through. I'm hoping it won't be more than an hour. I'm hoping, but you know I do long ones. So those are all the colors, and that's how they come. I'm working it, by the way, one strand. Even though it's on 28 count, I am working it one strand, because that's another thing I've discovered. As I go through, I'm going to tell you some of the revelations, the things that have come to light in my head over this whip situation as well. Some of the historic, my legacy whips. Because I'm afraid to say, I am evolving. I am evolving. And my tastes and how I work are definitely changing. And that was very obvious when I looked at the legacy whips. So if I show you just a little bit again. Yes, so it's one strand. And I quite like it. I like the coverage, and I think it gives it a nice antique look. So I'm quite pleased with that. So moving swiftly on. Now I'm going to have to pack up as I go along, right? Because no, we can't have the big mess. That can't happen. Because I find I get quite tired still, I'm afraid. Hence why yesterday I really wanted to film, but I was just too tired. Too tired. Right, let's show you another one. Let's see who is in this bag. Some nice Indian cotton block print bag. I like a tote for my project bags. I just like pretty bags that I like. Oops. Oh, the threads were in my fluffy for that one. Sorry, I left the threads behind. Let's put that way. So, who have we got here now? Now, this one hasn't changed since you last saw it, I'm afraid. So these are all active. So these over the next 6 months, I'm going to be touching all of these. Okay, some more than others, but everybody's going to get touched. Now, oh dear, I cannot find a picture. Beg pardon. Hold on. Sorry. Oh my, I don't know if the picture is here, guys. I don't know where it's gone. Hang on a minute. Sorry, let me show you the thing first. Then I'll look again. Thought I'd organize myself. Oh dear. Bored. So that's that one, which is a PDF from Etsy, and it's sort of like an Amish style, or I call it my shaker style. Now let me just, I'm using my own colors with that one. Oh dear, I don't know where the picture is for that. I apologize. It seems as if it is not here. Now, if you just bear with me a minute, talk among yourself. I'm going to look in here because it used to live in this bag with another Amish one. And maybe, yes, it is in here. Sorry about that. And it will tell you where I got it from as well. It's a lovely one. Very nice stitch. In fact, I love this designer. I think this designer is very good. They're not too expensive. They're on Etsy. And they do some cute, all sorts of things. They do lots of nice Christmas things as well. Yeah. So yeah, so that's that. So that one I need to get back to, because I've worked, basically I've done that area there. I need to get to these quilt blocks and the sheep and stuff. I might do the sheep in my favorite, which is the fluffy stuff. Oh, what's that stuff called? You know, the more hairy stuff. Oh, God's brain. But I might do it in fluffy stuff to give it a bit of texture. So let me just put that one away in its bag. But no, I've enjoyed the stitching. It's been a godsend. I mean, for me, you know, my stitching is everything to me, because unfortunately, especially at winter time, I'm quite vulnerable to various things. Used to be to my sickle cell mostly. But, you know, winter is not such a good time for me. I have to be very careful how I go outside and all the rest of it. Although, having said that, touch wood, you know, thank God, my treatment seems to be working pretty well. So I haven't had any sickle crisis or any warnings. And what I mean by warning is like a twinge that could turn into something ugly. Anyway, this, while we're there, we might as well go with the next one. So this is the other one from the same source. You see that, these people here. If you can see it okay. This light, I can't get used to this bright light. But hopefully it will make the videos brighter and you can see things better. So that's that one. And this one, again, I haven't touched it for a little while. But that is coming. Actually, I might have put the barn in. Let's put the board again. Yeah, so good progress on that. So I'm looking forward to picking that up again. I enjoy it. I've done my own thing. I'm using the called for colors, but I have put some colors in of my own as well. I think I've changed the complexion of that man. And the barn is just going in. And there's its little needle minder. I think Amanda gave me that as a present. Christmas present for Amanda. And that is being held in this bag, which I have shown before. Yeah, sorry, before I move on. So I'm just outlining the barn. So it's just that I've got left to do, and then that's a finish. So we should get a finish on that one soon. Now, the bag it's in is this bag here. Now, I saw this being shown by the Lancashire Stitcher, and she saw it from somebody in the Cheshire Stitchers group. And it's a great little bag. It's only about £20, but look here. It has all these pouches in. So if I can show it properly. You see, it's got all these. It's like many project bags within one bag. And it's quite neat. And this is my roadster bag now. So whenever I go to a show or I'm on the road or anything, instead of taking 6 projects that you really think you're going to work on, if the project don't fit in this bag, it can't come. So that's my roadster bag. Right, so let's see what we have. We're doing all right. We're cracking on. Oh, I might as well get this out the way next as well. Now, my full coverages. Now, if you had watched my last Flosstube, I did show all of my works in progress for my full coverages. So these are all my Christons. Well, not all of my Christons, but I think there were 4 Christons probably. They're still in the corral, but I didn't bother to show them because I haven't done any work on them. So if you want to see them, look at my last Flosstube. All of those full coverages that I showed you then, you will continue to see them over the next 6 months. They are in the 2025 group. All right. So I'm not going to bother because there's nothing to tell. And if you have never seen a Kristan and you want a little taste, let me take it out. I don't know how this light is going to work with the plastic. So sorry about the noise. Kristan, there is one of them. Little Jack Horner. Beautiful. Beautiful pain-free crafts. So they you will see them in my Flosstubes going forward over the next 6 months. What I decided to do as well, I mean, I could have showed you the full legacy estate, couldn't I? I could have gone through the trunk and brought it all out. But you know, there are 2 reasons why I haven't done it. I did go through, and what I've done is, as I said, I've split the legacy into 2 pools. So there are some even, which I have no plans to touch them this year. It doesn't mean I'm not going to touch them, but I have no plans. So they're to one side. And then I have got probably about 25 of them, which I have brought forward, or maybe even 20, which I brought forward, and they're not here, but they're put to one side. So as I stitch and out of this and complete stuff in here, I will go to that legacy pool and pull the odd one in, and I will present it to you at the time and show you who they are, which ones they are. But there are some which have already been pulled, which are in this pile. Okay, which you're gonna see. So who shall we do next? Who shall we do next? But I wanted a manageable pool. You know, at the end of the day, we have all these whips. We know we've got them. They don't bother me as such. But you have to be realistic. And what I really want are some good results and some finishes. I want to focus and not be distracted by the whole noise of everything around me. It's bad enough being distracted by the foxes of the new starts, is it not? So, who have we got in here? Aha, I know who this is. Let's get the pattern out. This is my floral motif sampler. I absolutely love this one. This one did get some stitchy time since you last saw it, but I haven't worked on it while I was ill because the problem is I'm working own colors, and I have a box of my non-numbered colors, you know, things I've inherited from my mother-in-law or whatever, or just random hand-dyed ones, or you know what I mean, random things. And it's a big box, and I couldn't manage anything that complicated while I wasn't feeling well. Oh dear, I'm gonna keep spitting on you, you know, it's my cold. I'm really sorry if I feel a bit weird. I hope I don't start coughing as well, but sorry. Oh, but I was determined to see you all. I was missing you. And I want you to see what I've been doing. And besides, if I stay away any longer, it'll be a 2-hour video again. We can't have that, can we? So the floral motif sampler. Sorry about that. I don't know. What can I say? Look. That's it there. And it's by the Scarlet House. Okay. Oh, I didn't say. The other two that I showed you, the two shakers, they're being worked on. Oh, dear. Stand by. Hold, please. I didn't tell you what I was working them on, did I? They are being worked, I would say, on a 36 count. On a 36 count Zweigart linen. Both of them on the same linen. Sorry about that. I know I still have this throat thing. It's lingering. So there it is. Lovely sampler. Many people have finished this. And as I said, I'm using own colors, and I hope it's not too shiny. But that's a bag there with some of the colors I've pulled out. It's very shiny. Sorry. That's just some random colors in there. And I just pull as and when. I kind of use the picture as a sort of guide. But, you know. So, there it is. Right. So, let's just put that one away. So that's in the corral, and you will see that coming out as I progress. So we'll put that one to one side. I've got Flosstube nose again. This one, I forgot about this one because this one is not far from a finish. I just sort of forgot about it. It's sharing the same bag, which is that project bag there. Indian block printed fabric. I think I'd showed it before I bought it from this chap, this guy. He was selling it as lingerie bag or night to put your night. Oh dear, to put your night clothes in. I must stop doing that. Sorry. I don't know this thing. I hope none of you get it. So that's my progress, and it's from Alila's studio. I didn't bring the box down to show, actually. It's this motif here, this one. And what it is for is I'm putting it on a sewing box that I bought, which has got a bee embroidery on the front, on the top. I should have showed you. If I remember, I'll put a picture in. But I just need to put it. It's going to go inside the box. But that's almost finished, really. I forgot I had it ongoing, so I must pull that out maybe over the next week and do it. Hold on, we're losing the needle. I put it in. I'll pop it back in this bag. Yeah, so it's been a bit sort of, you know, inny for me. What else has been happening? We're having the rendering done on our house, so we have builders at the minute. So I'm recording this quite late at night. because I can't record during the day. We're having all the render off and it's so noisy. Poor Piccolo. Piccolo is living under the bed at the minute. He's terrified. But it's for the good. It's going to help with the damp and the stuff in our little cottage. Our cottage is over 100 years old. And it's quite nice, actually, in a way, and kind of sad, because they took off all the rendering. The rendering is like a plaster, for those of you who don't know, which sits over the brick, right? Because our house is only single skin. So it means that it hasn't got any insulation, because it's old. They didn't build that in that time. Hasn't got the insulation in between and the other skin of brick. So we do get a bit of the plaster on the inside of this room I'm sitting in, which is the oldest part of the house, is affected in the sitting room. But we will get that rectified. But the problem is the moisture is coming in from the outside because the plaster work is dead. It's had it, really. But you know what was fascinating? And I'll have to put a picture in if I can. I took a picture of it. I went outside and had a look, and it's exposed the Victorian facade of the house. And it's just so wonderful because, of course, our house is like a cream color outside. And of course, now we can see the brick and we can see the original Victorian stonework and everything, and the windows and the facade and the brick. And it's beautiful, but sadly, got to be covered up again. So we'll take loads of pictures, you know. It's how it goes. You got to protect the building, haven't you? And we've had some work done on the roof as well. So a lot of work is going on outside. They'll probably be here for about 3 months. But then the house will be insulated and we won't be getting the damp coming in anymore. So anyway, this is another new start. This is a new start. Now, this is a Peter Rabbit one. Now, it's not from my Hackett. Now, those of you who are familiar with my channel, I subscribe to Hackett, which is... Peter Rabbit Stitch Along. It's like a subscription thing that it's online, and I did do a special in an earlier Flosstube about it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an update on Peter Rabbit, how he's getting on or not. I'm still subscribing to it, and I've had some fabulous patterns. So we're going to do one episode which is just about it. I did have a finish, which I'm not showing today. And it was on Peter Rabbit from the subscription. So when I show that one, I will show it. And hopefully by then I will have it as a full finish. And I'm going to make it into a stand-up. So you got that to look forward to. But in the meanwhile, I have some other Peter Rabbit Beatrix Potter patterns, which in my stash, right? So this one I had really loved. And when I wasn't feeling too well, I decided to do a start on it. And I'm surprised how far I got. Now, this was also from I got it as a PDF from Etsy. I can't remember which company. There it is there. There's Naughty Peter. He's in Mr. McGregor's garden eating the carrots. Naughty boy. In my version, which I'm going to show you, I'm going to put gold buttons on him. So that's just like a yellowy color. But I'm going to embellish that. Whoops, there goes the pattern with gold. So yeah, so I've progressed quite well on this. It's kind of like a full coverage in places, actually. But it's been a very enjoyable stitch. And I actually managed to do that when I wasn't, you know, when I was ill, without messing it up. Not too much frogging, actually. There was a bit of frogging. There was. Now, these are the colors. So I'd pull the colors. I'll show you them all with my board. Beautiful colors. So that's all the colors there. Got them all on my floss drops. See, I'm a good girl. Not a good girl with most of them, but, you know. I hope you can see that okay. I hope that's not blown out. Yeah, that's a bit better. Let's move the board. Yeah, so that's the colors. Really nice. Typical Beatrix Potter colors. I'm using all the call for colors in there. I'm working it on a linen. Oh, it's in this bag, which I got last year at about this time of year, actually, from Asda. Cute Peter Rabbit bag. I've got 2 of those. Oops, I hope that's not too bright. I am sincerely hoping that this light is going to work all right, because to me, that looks very blown out. Oh, dear. Sorry. Oh, my. Because I really don't want to have to re-record this again. Because that just looks seriously bright. But I hope you could see that all right. And I'll show you my progress. I'm very pleased. Now, this is a 36 count linen. So I got... Now it's going to be long and thin, so I'm working it on a fat quarter, but it's actually long and quite thin. Oops, let's move this one. Now, I did have a bit of frogging. See, the memory fails, doesn't it? Hence why I had to put this on there. Hang on a minute. Let me just... Me dodgy nails. It's so difficult to hold anything with them. There he is. Very good progress. I'm pleased with that. And you notice at the top, one of my homemade minders, I love frogs. Because there was a bit of frogging, to be fair. I'm remembering it now. The white, you know, the white bits here on white, not so good. This is on a 36 count. I found that with the white areas as well. That's Benjamin's hat coming in there. Benjamin Bunny's hat, him. He's up there. But what I've done is I've picked up Peter, but now I'm going to work all around here and fill in the rest of that page. Because this is 2 pages of the pattern there I'm working across. But it's very nice. I mean, the robin, he's coming in. I'm going to show you the pattern again because I know it's hard to remember. The robin is coming in now. I'm doing the back stitch as I go along, but I think he's rather sweet, rather nice. If I show you the pattern again, wherever I put it, because everything just fell to the floor. And hold on, where did it go? Now, I think this pattern, right, even though I bought it from Etsy on a PDF, I think this pattern is a retired anchor pattern. I found it somewhere and I'm looking to see if there's any, no distinguishing marks as to who I bought it from. Oh dear, hang on a minute, guys. Sorry about this. I don't know, you can tell I'm not fully firing on all cylinders. I hope you bear with me. I can tell I'm not fully firing on all cylinders. I don't know where it's gotten to. It fell on the floor and now it has disappeared. Oh my. Well, you saw the picture before. Sadly, it has vanished. I have no idea where it's gone. Let's see if I put it in the bag. Normally, I'm a bit more on my game, aren't I? But after all, I haven't been well. I shouldn't be so hard on myself. Yeah, there it is. So that's it there. Okay. So I've just picked up Benjamin's hat, but I'm not going to go any further this way. I think what I need to do is really fill in this bit now. Mr. McGregor is there. And then I'll go. But this is a lovely, lovely stitch. Really nice. Considering really that it's a new start. That's not bad progress. Now, I don't know if you've noticed a bit of a trend. Because I've noticed a bit of a trend. And actually, I was watching Tiger Lily Designs, Kerry. And I was also watching Trees, a little stitcher, because I watched quite a few Flosstubers. So I've been watching quite a few. I've been watching quite a few people. There's some really good new ones out there as well. Narissa's Stitching Lifestyle. If you like samplers, if you like any kind of stitching, the woman just, what? I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Narissa's Stitching Lifestyle. Just look her up. And I've watched the Littlies, and I've been watching Trees a Little Stitcher, Lancashire Stitcher, all my favorites, Saltbox Stitcher, Brenda and Laura. I've been indulging myself, as you can imagine. But anyway, back to what I was saying, right? I have come to a realization, and I was watching Kerry the other night on her WIP parade, which is Tiger Lily Designs. And you know what? Have you noticed something? A lot of the pieces I'm showing you that I'm working on, what are they on? They're on linen, they're on 36 count linen, or they're just on linen. I still like Ada, right? I'm not, don't get me wrong, I still like Ada. But the other thing you've noticed is that most of them, in fact, all of them so far, one thread. You know, when I was going through the legacy WIPs, what I came to realize, I'll chat while I get the next bag out. What I came to realize, right, was that a lot of the ones that I haven't touched, because quite a lot of them, I haven't touched them last year. Didn't touch them. Especially anything that was started pre-2024. So anything that was 2023, 2022, 2021, which is when I really started to pick up cross stitch again in 2021. They're usually on high count Adas. They are on dyed Adas. And it's such a shame because gorgeous fabrics, you know, and I'm not going to throw them away or waste them. I will use them for something else. A lot of them are that, and they have 2 strands. Now, the finished pieces that I've done in that fashion, I like them, love them. The trouble I seem to be having is being motivated to stitch with 2 threads. That's the first problem. I really don't like how my stitches looking on 2 threads. I don't enjoy it. I don't want to do it. And that is why I'm not picking them up. So some of them, a lot of them are going to be I think they're future. Especially the ones that I haven't pulled to put into the 2025 pile. And even some of those too. I think some of them are going to be due for a restart. And I've already started that process, which I'll show you in a minute with a few of them. Yeah, I think that's part of the problem. One or two of them are not to my taste anymore, but not really. Most of them I do like them, but I don't like the fabrics I'm working them on at the minute, and I do not like the threads. I think I have progressed since that time. My taste has changed, and also I am quite enjoying the finer, the higher count fabrics, whether it be Aida or linen. But that's it. But you know, that's how it goes, isn't it? And you shouldn't feel guilty, because Kerry was saying the same thing with hers, because she's got quite a lot of whips as well. And she started to ramp up her cross stitching again the same time as me. And so she's kind of been progressing at the same rate in a way. So it's one of those things. It happens, right? It happens. And you shouldn't beat yourself up, because at the end of the day, we have so many nice things to stitch, right? Because the other thing is, today and the last few days when I've been feeling better, I've been sat up in my office, in my studio, and I have been filing and organizing and sorting my huge stash. Got a few. But have I got some crackers in there? And I've got some seriously stunning things. I love them all, but some of them, I'm just totally blown away by them. And I've also come to the conclusion that what I want to be stitching are my all-time favorites. Because I don't know about you, but another thing I've come to realize by looking through my legacy stash, you know, and legacy whips, and preparing to do this video, is that I've been doing something which is known in the craft and stitching community, and I don't know what you'd call it. It's like hoarding them. Yeah, the nice patterns, the best patterns, not wanting to start them, hoarding them, sort of stroking them, looking at them, all the things. I don't know if any of you do that. People do it with patchwork. They're patchwork fabrics, isn't it? You buy a nice bundle of fabric and you stroke it. You don't use it. You just stroke it up, put it back. There's a name for that in Jamaica. They call it wifing it up. Don't ask me why. But that's like when you get your nice towel, right? You get some nice new towels. You put them in a drawer. You still use your old towels. You don't want to use them. We do it with tea towels. Well, I've been unconsciously doing it with my cross stitch patterns, but that is going to change. In fact, that has already changed. Because you will see I've done a new start, and it is on something that I adore. And why not? So there you go. So if there's anything in my whips that I don't really love, I'm afraid to say they might get pushed aside for something I love more, because time is short. Anyway, so back to the whip parade. So we have this one. As you know, this one is dear to my heart. This is the Child's Petition. That's a bit better. And it is by Sampler Antiques. I bought that as a PDF online. And this is one for the children, for all those little children, unfortunately, who, you know, had a very short life for whatever reason. Those of conflict, illness, whatever. I wanted it to be a tribute to those children. Every stitch is for a little life. And I just felt moved to do that. Now, this has had a little stitchy love. I couldn't stitch it when I was really ill, because it's a little bit complicated and there are quite a few color changes. So when you saw it last, I had done this Heart of the Rose. It's beautiful. The colors are so lovely. I've stitched that since, and I've stitched this tendril. So not a lot, but progress just the same. Every little stitch helps. Her color choices, though, this is the girl who stitched this. She was only a young Irish girl. And her color choices are just so fascinating. You know, really fascinating. That's being stitched on Vintage Country Mocha, 36 count, linen. One thread over two, beg your pardon, two thread. So that's one thread over two with CXC. That's another thing. A lot of my designs, you will find most of what I'm showing you are stitched with CXCs. I use a lot of CXCs. And if I could show you the colors now, in the bright light and the shiny. So those are some of the colors in there. And very nice colors, you see. But unusual colors, like got that red. I mean, seriously. No, this girl, she had guts for choosing her color. She didn't mess about. She did not mess about. But that's a nice sampler. Again, it stitches up pretty well. I'm really enjoying working on it when I do work on it. But that one is definitely firmly in the pool and being actively stitched. So we will see how I get on the next Flosstube. Now, a new start. So, this one is called Birds and a Nest. And I fell in love with this. Look at that. Oops. I hope you can see it. There we go. Right. And this again was a PDF from Etsy. I wish these companies would put their names on here. Oh, so this is the designer. Maybe if you put her name in. There it is there. And it's basically, I put in Berlin woolwork, antique, cross-stitch designs. And if you put that in, you get a whole load of this style. And this was sort of inspired by me doing the other one, the children's petition, the child's petition. It's a very similar style, very vintage. And this is also being worked on Vintage Country Mocha. Now, I've only done a small amount on this one. I'm not even telling you on my needle minders. I'm so sorry. But as I said, I am not at my 100%, right? But I just wanted to come and see. Hopefully next time I'll be more fully recovered and have full strength ahead. So hopefully you will bear with me. Look at that. You see the color on that? Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Not too much confetti either. I'm hoping you can see the color. I'm getting a bit closer. Look at that. Isn't that stunning? Can you imagine what that's going to look like? My goodness. Now, I have a small collection of these sorts of patterns because there was a mega sale on. There was a mega sale. And so I bought quite a few of these Berlin woolwork style of patterns. And again, I am going to do a focus video for you. I'm going to film that when I'm feeling a little bit better, and we're going to do a little pattern parade, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about Berlin woolwork, because as you, those of you who have followed me for a long time, I have a City and Guilds diploma in textiles and embroidery. So I know a lot about these historic textiles, and I love history. So, you know, and it's always nice to share. Always nice to share the knowledge. Why not? So we're going to do a little special, and I'm going to show you a lot of the patterns. And what is so distinctive about them, because they were from the Victorian period, is the color, the use of color. Because this really does not do it any justice to these colors. These blues are going to be very vivid. It's going to have yellows, and these birds, I expect that's going to be in like a peacock blue and nice rich browns. So that's the little flower there I just showed you. That one at the top there. Yeah. So I'm enjoying that. And that sits in the same bag with my child's petition, and it is being worked. Oh, I do have to show you this needle minder though. Quick. Look. Oh, hang on. I'm having trouble with the light. I'm getting used to this light. There we go. Can you see it? It's a cake. And that's from Don't Step on My Needle, my favorite girl, Jenna. There it is. That's better. Jenna. Yes, so, and she's on Etsy. Yes, so I'm really enjoying that, That's also being done in CXC threads, and it is also on a 36 count Vintage Country Mocha, from Florishell, my favorite linen supplier. I've got some linen to show you from her. Oh, and these are the colors. These are not all the colors, obviously. I just pulled the ones that I needed for the top. And sorry about the plastic bag. But if I take everything out, I'm going to be in a pickle. So let's just pop that in my bag. And it is in this bag, which you've seen before, which is from my friend Nikki. And it's a tote, handmade. So where are we? Let's see. I don't even know how much time we've done. We're 43 minutes in. Not doing too bad. I was hoping to do an hour. I think we're going to be just over the hour. But let's crack on. Now, blessing sample of thoughts. I'm going to show you my blessing sample. I have started one. Only doing a little one. Now here's another one. Now, this is one I have always wanted to start. It's been in my stash for quite a while. I've done a working copy of it. I have all of them. So I've got Yuletide Welcome to Thee, which is that one. Yeah, that's the one I'm working on now. I'm going to show you my progress. I started that as well as a New Year's start. I think I started it on New Year's Day, actually. This is one I adore. And this is what I mean. Going through my stash right now, I've decided, you know what? I am going to try over the next year, 2 years, whatever, to start to work on those lush, Hands Across the Sea, whatever. Plum Street. You realize I've not really done a Plum Street, and I've got lower Plum Streets. I haven't done a blackbird. I mean, that's shocking. And I've got a lot of blackbirds. So why am I not, you know, and it's not that I don't like the other stuff, you know, don't get me wrong. But like my favorites, I seem to be avoiding them, which is silly. And just stroking them. Now, so this one I have started. I'm going to get it out. This is also being done. Now, I haven't done any floss cards. I've been a bit naughty with this one. This one is actually being worked on a beautiful bit of 32 count linen. Now, I don't know what this linen is brand-wise. I bought it when I went to the knitting and stitching show in Harrogate. Now, it's too big for my board. And I have done quite a bit. I've done the border and it meets. I hope this isn't too bright. Right, hang on. In fact, you know what? I'm going to pause a second and I'm going to just shift this light because I want to make sure this is recording, because that would be a disaster. So if you just bear with me, I'll be back in a second. Okay, so we're back. I was worried about nothing. I had a quick look at the video to see, apart from it being in my glasses a little bit, it looks okay. It looks okay. I just didn't want to record it and find out to record it again. I mean, that would just be too scary. So where were we? Where were we? We were looking at a Yuletide Welcome to Thee. So, I just got to get used to this new light. I think that's what it is. Whoopsie daisy. Hang on. Oh, yeah, it's quite big. There we go. So that's him there. Look at the little Father Christmas. He's got, his beard is in whisper. So he's got a fluffy beard. And I've put little, you can see it glinting. I've put little metallic gold on his shoes and on his little suspenders. But I've done all of the border and it meets. I hope you can see it all because I can't see you now. I've done the border. I just need to put in all little doodads. See if I can show you them. Those. Pretty little border. I'm really enjoying that. I've got Yuletide in my stash. It's by Plum Street Samplers. I've got Yuletide Welcome to Thee. I've got Liberty Welcome to Thee. And I've got Ghoultide Welcome to Thee as well. And I've always loved them. Now, as I said, this linen here, I'm going to fold it in half because it's a bit big. So we can look at the bits that are more stitched. So I'm starting to work on filling. This is quite a nice one if you went like, if you're on a Zoom or something, because there's a lot of filling stitches. I'm really enjoying that. And that has stitched up again very quickly. Little needle minder, by the way, is made by me. Where did it go? Little fan made by me. I'm working that on a 32 count linen, as I said, and I am doing it one stitch, one thread over two. And I'm quite happy with the coverage. Again, it looks sort of vintagey, sort of antique-y. The floss cards, I can't say I've populated them well. So we've got a bit of a mess here. Now this one, this is another interesting thing, and this is another thing that prompted me to start it, right? When I was going through my stuff, I realized, I'm not joking, I'd kitted this up, not with the linen, but with the threads, because they're all DMC threads in here. I must have gone to Hobbycraft, which is like a craft shop here in the UK. I reckon I kitted this thing up well over a year ago, probably 2 years ago. So I thought, why not? Might as well start. And here are the threads. Whoops, let's see if I can hold them up for you. Nice colors, pretty, pretty, pretty. And it does have, I did send away, it's all DMC I'm working it in. It is called for the over dyes. So it is charted, and the model, which is that, is stitched in over dyes. But I decided to work it in DMC. However, I did send away to Peakside Needlework and I got the Grecian Gold, which is the color for the house. But to be honest with you, it isn't really variegated, and actually don't look any different to the DMC. So, yeah, never mind. So I got that. And also I decided to include, because I've changed up some of the greens, because it only used 2 greens, I think, and I wanted more variety. So in my stash, I had this one as well, which is called English Ivy. And I put that in as well. So those are some of the nice colors there. It's very pretty, very rich colors. Stitches up really well. I'm looking forward to working my way through that one. So that's been in my round robin going round, because what I'm doing at the minute is that I've been, as I said, I've been mostly in bed, because that's where I was sent. I was given the medication and she said, you need to go on bed rest. Luckily, I did have a pneumonia vaccine, because I have my pneumonia booster. I have a lot of vaccines to do with all my issues, you know. So I had a pneumonia vaccine. I've got COVID. I've got flu vaccine. So that should protect me. But, and you know, all my life, I've never had any problem with my lungs. But, you know, as you get older, you know, I was 60 last year. It's all falling apart. But as you get older, you're more susceptible to things. And I found last year, pardon me, last year, winter, I also got that same thing. Well, actually, I got it late summer, autumn, and I had something similar, and it went to my chest, and I had it for 10 weeks. So, I don't know. Old age, stuff going around, what can I say? And I'm very careful. I mean, I don't really go into very crowded places. I don't go shopping on the weekends, crowded supermarkets, anything like that, but Simon brought it home, so I'm blaming him. Right, let's move on swiftly, because we're doing quite well. What else have we got in the WIP parade coming across? Right, so the other two, these two I brought forward as well. They are in the legacy, but I would like to get these finished. Sorry about this, something has fallen to the ground. Let's put that over there. And these two are both drawn, the drawn thread. The drawn thread. Well, try and say that fast after a few wines. The drawn threads. They've come forward into the first 2 quarters of the year for working on. Now I'm going to see if you can see this in the plastic. Hopefully I don't have to take it out. I don't want to take everything out. And that one is lovely. It's called the Little Bird Sampler. And I'm a bit naughty really, because I haven't worked on that for a while. I haven't worked on it much last year. I think it came out a couple of times to play. But this is one I really like as well. I love the drawn thread. I think I had did them as a focus designer for you on one of my floss tubes. You've seen it. Colors on this are very, very muted. Not ironed, I'm afraid. I'm afraid I do not iron my WIPs, because I do not iron linen in between. Linen does not like, if you have linen clothes, you will know, you don't really want to iron it a lot. So I'm sorry, we'll just have to put up with it. It will be ironed at the end when it goes to be stretched, but there it is. It's so delicate and lovely. This one I am working, I would say on a 32 count. Let me just see if it's 2 threads. Bear with. I have to look. I'm just looking. Funny that I can't tell. No, I would say that is, I know it's hard to tell, chaps. I can't tell, people. It might be 2 threads. Oh dear. I think it might be 2 threads actually. It's 32 count anyway. No, it's 1 thread. 1 thread over 2. Look at the little cat's whiskers. Isn't he cute? That thing hanging off there, I've showed it before. I got this from 123 Stitch. And you use it as a counter, like you use it because this, if you notice, there's a lot of gaps. I'm moving around. And it's made by a company called My Big Toe. But you can get them here. They have them in various forms. It's a stitch counter. And what you do, why I like this one, because it's got 2, is if I'm moving down the line, if I put this back up again, show you how it works, especially for you newbies who might not know what it is. So suppose I want to move from here to down here. I can put this in there, and then I can count down with the other one and put it in the hole so I know where I'm moving to. So I got it specifically for working on these spacey ones, you know. Although now that I'm a bit more experienced with the linen, and either it's not so bad, but with the linen I used to struggle. This is one of my first linen pieces. Now I'm trying to think, you know, I think I got this one as a kit from oh Lord, the Nimble Thimble. Chris at the Nimble Thimble, up in Wales. She's online. And she kits up a lot of your drawn threads, because a lot of the threads actually is definitely one thread. Sorry. What confused me was it's on silk. And the silk, dinky dye silk, you only use one strand. It's quite fluffy. That's what threw me. It's all coming back to me now. Right then. Probably have brain fog. And in fact, here are the silks. I can show you. They're quite fluffy. You only need one strand. Even though it's on 32. There's the colors there. You see, you don't need a lot. And the thing about Chris is when you buy them, she gives it like that with you, with the numbers and everything on it, right? And the silk is very expensive to buy, so she just gives you enough that you need, because you don't need a lot. But if you were to buy single skins of these, it would cost quite a lot, and also the dinky dyes are not easy to get. Pardon me, the coffee's decided we've had our time, isn't it? Let's hope I don't cough over you too much. So I expect I'll be quite tired at the end of this, but it's still worth it because I missed you all. It's nice to come and share. So I'm going to put that away. So that one, I can't remember what I started it for, but I'll show you the design again. It's a nice design. Called Little Bird Sampler. See it? If I come up close. These are just segments from, because the overall image is quite small. So they give you, and I've done all right. I'm down here somewhere. There's a little cat. So I'm around here somewhere. So not much. And again, they're a joy to stitch. They're not difficult. They're very nice. I am very, very fond of the drawn thread. So that's going to lead us nicely into my other drawn thread. Now this one, for some reason, I think this was a birthday start this year, because I decided, normally I start a sampler on my birthday, but this year, because I have, which you will see them soon, 3 birthday WIP starts, I decided I'm not doing another sampler, a big sampler, because I need to crack on with those before I do another one. So I decided to do a smaller start for my birthday this year. And so the one I went for was a drawn thread. Now this one has got the price on, to give you an idea of what these kits cost from Chris at the Nimble Thimble. Not too bad, I don't think. This one was $23.95 as a kit, and it's this one. And it's called Summer Welcome, and I decided to stitch it because I'm a summer baby. August. So I thought I would stitch that. Again, that was in my stash, and that is a favorite too. A very one of my high value favorites. So I started that. I'm going to change the US flag and put a British one in there. Not that I have anything against you guys in the US, but I want to show my British thing, British heritage, or the English flag, or one of those. So I have done really well on this, actually. I'm just looking at it. Why have I not finished this? This is shameful. It's beautiful as well. I forgot how nice it is. Look at it. Ooh, ooh la la. And she's quite generous with the material that I got. Now, this is a 32 count, I think. And again, silk. Oh, I remember this one. Look at this. I've done loads on it, people. What the hell? Look. Look, it's almost finished. What is wrong with me? Look at that nice needle minder. It's a little fairy. I wish you could see her. She's so pretty. Again, from my beloved Jenna. Like, don't step on your needle. Look at her, cute, sitting on her mushroom. But look. And I remember I did satin stitch on here, because it does have some specialist stitches. But instead of using the silk, I wanted mine to be in a bit more high relief and chunky. So I used sulky thread to do that. A variegated sulky. Let's see what the threads look like. Let us see. Let's see. Let's see. It's all new to me as well. Hang on. Bear with. Let's see what we got in the pouch. Now, I'll show you something. I get these from Amazon. These are really nice if you have a skinny project like that. You know, like that one. The linen is small. It's not a big project. These are fabulous. I know they're not fancy project bags, but they do the job. They have a pouch here. I mean, a pack from Amazon. you have the pouch there, which I keep my thread in, especially if I have silk, I put them in there. And then I put the rest of my business in the back. And it's see-through as well, which is good. And you can get them in the range, but they're cheaper from Amazon. You can get them in a pack. Anyway, I digress. So that's the sulky thread that I use for the beehive, right? Which is sulky number. Sadly, you can't get them so easily in the UK anymore. But I do have a nice little collection, because when they were closing down, direct to the public, so you can still get them from Mac Barn Yarns online. I think Lakeside Needlework still sells them as well, and they're very good because they're equivalent. You only need one strand, basically. They're sulky 12. Michelle Mama Loves You use them a lot. Love them. It's such a shame. You can still buy them, but they used to sell direct to the public, but because of Brexit and everything, it was too expensive because they're made in Germany. So they've stopped, and I bought quite a few in the sale. Now, these are the colors that came with it. These, as usual, good old Chris. She puts the numbers on. Hope you can see it okay. I'll have to get used to this new light, guys. It is nice. We looked at the video just now, and the video looks okay. But it's me just getting used to how to position things. That's it for you. So hopefully you will bear with me. So that's the silk, the dinky dyes. And then I had some Steph Francis. If you look her up online, I used to buy from that lady from when I was in college, all those years back. She does wonderful hand-dyed threads. She's here in the UK. They're here in the UK and they sell online. If you just look her up, Steph, S-T-E-F, Francis, 2 words. Now, I got this from my stash from way back when. From college days. It was in there. So I'm using some of this nice color as well to incorporate. I like to add in my own colors, you know, it makes it mine. And then I have this one in my stash as well, which is called Concord, which is a weeks. And I'm putting a little Concord in as well, that purple. So I think that one is going to become a priority. I might have to stitch on it. I think I need to stitch on this week, because that is getting there. That's nearly finished. All the lettering is done. Yeah, it's so big I can't get it in the screen. Just put it over here. Yeah, I forgot about that one. Terrible, isn't it? Never mind. We need to be cloned. That's the thing. That's the thing. So let's pop that one away quickly and move on. We're nearly there now. We're getting there. We only have a small bit more of this thing to show. We're nearly there. So you see, to me, I was only gonna select these for Q1. But to be honest with you, I think I've got more than enough here to keep me busy up until Q2. And in fact, in Q2, we're going to review the situation. Because it might be, I'm not saying that between now and the next 6 months, I might bring something from the legacy pile in, but not a lot. Because I really, really need to get some of these moved on and get to some finishes. Now, what else have we got? Now, this is a small. Now, this one is another one that's disgraceful. Really and truly. This is probably a day's work, and I could get this one finished. Now, this one I'm quite proud of. It's a Brenda G vase with my needle and thread. And this is my working copy here. A bit battered up. And it's spring. She does all the seasons. Cute, isn't it? I like it. And this is going to be made into a pillow. And, drum roll please, this is my first and only piece on 40 count linen. And it is the cutest, dinkiest thing you have ever seen in your life. It is so cute. I'm using my own colors. I mean, the eggs in the nest surely are the cutest. Look at these little dinky green things. Look at them. I love it. It is so, so cute. It is the most darling thing. And again, a lovely other, I think Amanda gave me that actually. There's another fairy there for the needle minder. I think I got it for Christmas. We always buy each other craft things because we know what we like. We know what makes each other happy. We like to make things. So that's cute, and that's on a vintage country mocha. Now, that segues me quite quickly into show you something. Quick. Now, you know I always banging on about my beloved Florishell that I buy my linen from. I found her cards. I'm going to show you. You can take a screenshot of this. Those are her details. Let me come up close. That's her. Right? Lovely Fiona and Hannah. And they are my go-to. Sometimes I buy from Wool Warehouse, but generally these girls awesome. Their delivery is good. Everything is good. They do Zygarde. They do quite a variety of colors. They do Ada. They do linen. Everything. They are on eBay, and they are also on Amazon. I tend to buy from them on eBay because in my head, I think maybe she might earn a bit more on eBay, aka maybe she doesn't pay as much commission, I hope, you know, because I want to support her local business. Very good. Very, very good. I love, love, love buying. I can highly recommend them. Highly recommend. Now, one of the things about Floral Shell, right, when you go onto eBay and look them up, they have like a drop-down box, so you can choose the sizes, you know, of the cuts. You can buy a meter, you can buy whatever. But one of the things they sell, and this is how my 40 count adventure came about. If you want to try something, like maybe you want to try the color, or you want to try the count or whatever, and you don't want to commit to having a fat quarter or whatever it is, you just want, you know, they do a little taster bag, and it's big enough for you to do a small on. So, you know, if you just wanted to just stock up on some small bits for smalls, it's a good way of buying, and it's ever so reasonable. I think it's about £7. And according to my piece of the scribble on it, because I can't read it so much, it is 15 by 20 centimeters. I think it says 15 by 20. Anyway, that's what it looks like, a piece that size, and that's 40 count. So I was able to buy 4 pieces of 40 count for £7.50. Sorry, it's a bit shiny. And try it. You know, so you don't mind, because you're worried if you buy a fat quarter or whatever, you're going to be stuck with a count that you might like, or a color or whatever. So I did get that in 2 colors, and that is how I got to realize that I can work on 40. So I thought I would show you that and share that with you. So do go and look up Floral Shell and give her some love if you need any fabrics. She doesn't do dyed fabrics. She does, you know, Zygarde, straight Zygarde, but you can dye or do whatever you want to do. So that's another one. Let's put that over there. Then, when I was going through my pile of legacy stuff, I came across this one. Now, this is also Brenda G. And again, this is my working copy from one of the other seasons. So that one I showed you. I can't remember what that one was. Was that spring? Right. Now, you might notice a slight difference in the screen. Don't laugh. There I was chattering away, showing like crazy. I'm now on Simon's phone recording, okay? And I kept thinking, the thing keeps timing out. What's going on? And then I realized it wasn't recording at all. I've run out of storage on my phone. So now we're carrying on Simon's phone. So if it looks slightly different, it's because we're on a different phone. But let's crack on as quickly as we can. Now, I had to watch the other video to see where it had stopped, so it wasn't as bad as I thought. Because I don't know, I didn't notice it, but anyways. So what I was just about to show you was my little foundling. So while I was going through, I found this little baby, which is related to the one I just showed you, which is the autumn one. My working copy again. Yeah? That one. And I am doing it on 28 count Ada, quite a coarse Ada actually, quite sort of nice and rustic looking. And it is being stitched with 2 strands, but even so, I quite like it. I'm quite pleased with my progress. Okay. So I've done quite well. I mean, really, sorry, autumn. Yeah. So what I need to do is just fill in the house, put these in and that, and then that's done. I also found this nice piece of fabric as well in my stash, which I'm going to put on the back and make it into a pillow. So I'm going to put that in my immediate dealing with to get on with. And these are the threads on a recycled Christmas card. I'm using my own colors. I'm just using the picture as a guide. I often do that with smalls. So yeah, so let us get back on track. Oh Lord, because of course I know how to make sure I remembered what I'd showed you that you didn't see, because I was talking to myself. Anyway, quick. So I think with that done, we're now getting on to the things that I have restarted. Okay. And I'm really pleased with this. Now, before I show you that quick, I was just going to show you, because I had showed you before. I have to try to remember now. I did buy some linen this month, which is what I'm supposed to be doing. That is my business. I need to be stitching from starch, cooling my jets, okay, on the purchases, because I have such lovely things that I need to stitch, that I want to stitch. So I, true to my word, I don't think I showed you this before. If I showed you before, I apologize. I got a meter of permin linen. That was from Art and Design in Scotland. I got half a meter of 36 count vintage country mocha from my beloved Florishell. I like Art and Design as well. I want her to feel left out, but she's a very good supplier too. And I also got a meter of platinum Zweigart 36 count from Florishell, which I've already cut into that. So that was 100 by 140. It's 140 wide. She's quite good, really. Some big pieces, you know, I find that it's better. It's more economical to buy a meter. Sometimes I know it's a bit of an outlay. And then proportion it up. You find it's more efficient use than be buying fat quarters all the time. But sometimes I do buy fat quarters. Anyway, so shall we quickly plunge into the restarts? Okay. Now, the first one, because I've got to find them again. Seeing that I had showed them to you before. I think I showed you this one before. So let's move that. Hold on. Bear with me. Bear with. Because I'm going to get them back out again. Right. So the first restart I did was this one. And this is one which was a birthday start from some time back. So this one is His Eyes on the Sparrow, which is a favorite. And you've seen many people stitch this. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. I was looking at, there's a video on YouTube with Beth, which is Heartstring Samplery, Beth Twist. And it was her booth at Market when she had launched, I think she had launched the twin to this. I can't remember which of them, but you could see them quite close up and they look beautiful. They're quite big. Believe it or not, the call for is 28 count, which is what her model was stitched on. And it's worth going to see that video if you can look it up. Yeah, but anyway, the colors look very muted there, but actually the colors are quite nice. The colors are quite vibrant, much more colorful than you think they are. So I made a start on that. And hold on, my little needle minder. Now this needle minder is not the best. I think I got it from, I don't know where I got it from. It wasn't from my beloved Jenna, but it needs a stronger magnet. But I show you, it's such a cute little minder. Oh, hold on, little bird. It's not the strongest, but I like it. In fact, it's just lost its magnet. God knows where that is. I'll have to go find it. Hold on, bear with me. Bear with. Hang on, it had come apart. Yeah, I need to replace the magnet. I got it, I don't know where I got it from. It's not one of Jenna's, not one of my beloveds. Anyway, it's quite a big piece. I'm working mine on 36 count because 28 count, there's no way. And if you remember, these were restarted on several occasions. We won't even go there. I've mentioned them on other videos. So still a fair piece of fabric considering, but I'm fine with that because I did contemplate doing them on 40 count. But I decided, you know, because there's so many little motifs, I was worried the motifs could be small and lost and it could look a bit busy. So I decided, you know, to be on the safe side. I know I'm very comfortable with 36 and it's a lot of stitching. So I'm better off going with something that I know that I have cut my teeth on properly. So I will show you what progress I've made. Because, of course, now I'm recording all of this again. And we haven't had supper yet. And Simon is ready for his supper. I'm ready for my supper too. So I need to crack on. So you see, I've started the border. And I've gone all the way across the top with the border. And it's very nice. I'm really enjoying that. I'm using the Call for Colors. Now, this, because it's an oldie but goodie, it was in the days when I used to use DMC. So it had all the threads there already. I didn't need to do anything. So that's been worked on DMC, I believe. No, actually, this one is on CXC. The other one I'm going to show you has got DMC. I only pulled 2 of the colors at the minute, these 2, because I'm only working the border. And that's just one session's work. Got me that far. So I'm hopeful it is going to be a long stitch, but a pleasant one. Everybody has said, who has stitched it, that, you know, it's a nice stitch. Sorry, let me just put this back in the bag. You see, I really don't want to get into too much of a pickle because I suspect tomorrow after doing this, I'm going to be quite tired. But never mind, it's worth it. So, and no prizes for guessing who the second restart is. It is its twin. Now, I didn't realize until watching Beth Twist again that these 2 are actually the same size as their companion pieces. So, the other one, no prizes for guessing. It is the famous Consider the Lilies. And that one you can see has beautiful colors. Now this one is on its 4th restart. We won't go there. I've started it on linen, I've started on Ada, I've started on this, I've started on the other count and the other and I've dyed all of those fabrics as well. Anyway, I'm happy to say, I'm pleased to announce that it is now on a count of fabric that I know I'm going to enjoy and finish it on finally. So it is on the same platinum fabric as the Sparrow. His eyes is on the Sparrow because they're companion pieces. I know they're going to come out as big pieces, but so it goes. It has a very flamboyant and fabulous needle minder. Look at it. It's beautiful. It's very sparkly. And that's just, I didn't do a big start on it because I spent most of my time doing the border on the other one. But I'm going to work them in tandem. So this one now, it's turn to get a nice run so it catches up with the other. And what I'm doing at the minute, right, and what I have been doing while I was ill, is I'm doing like, say, 2 days working on 2 things, 2 days working on 2 things, 2 days working on 2 things, 2 days work, and rotating round that way. I'm doing it quite informally, but I'm trying to touch all of these along the way to make sure that they're all moving forward. And this is why I think it's been so important for me to rationalize my overall estate of WIPs and just focus on these, and then the others come in slowly. And of course there will be new starts along the way. That goes without saying. So cracking on swiftly. Oh, and that's the bag with the threads for the lily one. And let me quickly show you the threads. They're not on their floss drops, I'm afraid, but look at the colors. Beautiful purples, very vibrant. Now these are all DMCs because this one must have been an earlier birthday start to the Sparrow one. And it's got some very nice floss drops which I made. Look, they're sparkly. They're so pretty. Look at that. That was in the days when I was a bit more keen and a bit well behaved. I do like making floss drops. It's just that I like stitching better. So yeah, so I need to get those on there. It does have a few. I did go for a few of the fancy floss because it is in fancy floss, but they do give you DMC equivalent, and which actually made me think to tell you. Now, is his eyes on the Sparrow. Apparently now, if you buy it, if you can get it, I presume you can. It's in a book like the lilies, right? But when I bought mine, it was new from market and she didn't do it in the book. She did it in that small one I showed you. And the DMC colors are not in there. So I was freaking out at first thinking, oh my goodness. But actually, if you go onto her website, the colors are on there, on her shop site somewhere. She has it in the blog or somewhere about on there. If not, email her and she will direct you. Because that freaked me out because it has a lot of colors and I can't afford to be doing it in fancy floss. I might buy a few of the fancy floss. Like this one, Concealer Lilies. I do have a few of the fancy floss, but it's not really in my, it's not in my pay grade. So, you know, I will buy a few, but, you know, I'm quite happy working with DMC or CXC. I'm quite happy with them. I'm quite happy. So, what else have we got? I think this is the child's petition. No, I think I showed you this, but I can't remember. So, yeah. I hope I did. If I didn't, you will see it. But I'm sure it was in the previous recording. Because I really need to get this video done for you and get it out. Or else it will be the end of January. I can't wish you Happy New Year then. Too late. Anyway, we're nearly there, people. Because what I think I'm going to do, I did have some patterns and stuff to show you, some haul. I'm not going to show you all of that. What I'm going to do is, because I want to do another video, hopefully at the end of the month. Or thereabouts in another 2 weeks time roughly, because I'm hoping to have some of my full finishes from last year to show you. Simon is going to try his best to make us some frames, so get some of my pieces framed. So that's what I want to show you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all of those haul that I was going to show you today to one side and we can enjoy them then. I will show you some things I got for Christmas though, so we still have a little haul. How is that? Okay, so let's crack on. So the next restart. Now this one here, I haven't yet restarted, but it is in the current, it's come across into 2025. Now this is Jane Atkinson. If you want to see a finish of this, Carol has finished it on Saltbox Stitcher, and various people have been working on it. Now this one I sent all the way to the USA for. It came from 123 Stitch. So there's no way I'm not stitching it. And I love it. It's a big girl. Because you know me and my big girls. You know how the song goes, I'll get told off because it's not my song. I shouldn't be singing it. Does that count? I don't know. But I like big girls and I will not lie. Anyway, yeah. So this one is the progress I've made on it so far, right? And what I don't like about it, there's several things. I love the linen, right? So I might keep this on 32, the same piece of linen, but restart it with 1 thread over 2. Now, you know what was disappointing? I'm using the call for colors, you know, but you see that flower there? I thought that was going to be a burgundy. It's come out brown. The color is a bit brown. This is why I changed my colors. And no disrespect to the designers. They do a brilliant job. They do a brilliant job because this one is by the Scarlet Letter and I love the Scarlet Letter. But sometimes the color is just not to your taste, right? So what to do? You got to change it, haven't you? It's yours after all. And I'm sure the designers don't mind. So this was that big flower I just showed you. I've started stitching it. You see, it's a sort of browny burgundy color. Anyways, what I don't like about it is the chunkiness of the stitch. And I cannot face doing it in 2 threads. Now, just under here, so, if you look, that is using 1 strand. Now, I know the coverage is not as good, but I don't mind it. I actually like it. And I like how the stitches look fine and delicate. So what I'm thinking with this one, and it is big. I mean, seriously, it is a little bit bigger than I would like it to be. But I do like the linen. I dyed it myself and I dyed it to match the pattern and dyed it to, you know, to my taste. And it's got pinks and it's got lovely markings on it and so forth and so on. So my thinking at the minute, I am sitting on the pot, but I'm thinking I might leave that on the 32 count, but frog out that and do it 1 thread over 2. Or turn it upside down and start stitching it and frog it later. Which is probably how it's gonna go. So that's that one. Let me just show you the threads. Because bearing in mind, I've recorded all this before, you know. Seriously. Honestly, what a nana. I kept thinking, why is the screen keep timing out? It kept timing out because it wasn't doing anything. I don't know. You just can't get the Flosstubers. So, yeah, those are the colors there. You can see the colors are nice. It doesn't have that many colors either. And I think these are DMCs, not CXCs. Again, it was in the days when I was keen. And of course, it was a birthday start. So I made really cute. And these are PDFs that I buy. And then oh, that's a William Morris one. I even hand painted them in places. They've got artwork on them. Anyways, I need to populate them onto that. So I need to sort that out. So that's that one. So I know I'm rushing a bit, but I'm trying to now. Let's get through this one. Oops, what did I just drop on the floor? Hang on, bear with me. Looking at my head again. Right, we are nearly there. We are nearly there now. All of these, you will be enjoying their progress going forward. Now this one, okay. So this one was bought a long time ago, back in 2021 during lockdown or somewhat had. And I will confess that this one is from AliExpress. I have no idea who the designer is. I've never seen it though, to be fair. So I don't know. I don't know what its what's the word? Its pedigree is. I bought it in good faith. I didn't know in them days about, you know, all the things. And I paid for it. So it's mine. Right? So I'm going to stitch it because I like it. And I have never seen it on the market. So maybe somebody has come across it. Maybe it's, I don't know. I don't know what it is. But I just like the image and I had bought it from there at the time in good faith. So that one, okay? Now it came with the most hideous fabric in the world. What do you expect? As much as we say buy cheap, buy twice, yeah. Anyway, but it's a lovely pattern. The chart is nice and everything. However, this came with this Ada. Now, boys and girls, this Ada is so tough and stiff that if you stood it up, let's try. Whoa, it stands up all by itself. It is coarse, it is horrible, and it is scratchy. So I did do some work on it. Again, this is on 2 strands. Right, and I dyed it as well, you know, because it was I don't know what color it was when it arrived, but you can see it's a nice color. It's nicely dyed, look. And I did do some work on it. If I can show you, hold on, because it's a bit creasy. Hold on, bear with. So I did some of the grass. Another cute needle minder there. But obviously, that's been parked for at least 2 years because the fabric is intolerable. You cannot work on it. So the threads are fine. It came as a kit. So it has all its threads. And to be fair to them, they're fine. They look CXC quality. In fact, they look a bit better than CXC. They feel almost DMC, to be fair. And they're all numbered. So what I'm going to do is restart that on a 36 count, which is now my sweet spot. So I got linen because I think it's a beautiful sample. So that has come forward into the corral for 2025. Now, looking at how much I've got here, to be honest, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see where we are at the end of Q2, because at the end of Q2, this might still be the portfolio. Because if I'm not going to overburden myself. If those ones, I'll get to them. There's always next year. But we will see. We will see. So we only have 2 left now. 2. Now, who we got here? Oh. Now, one of them is not started yet, so I don't know if it counts. So this one you have seen before in the past. This is Teresa Kogut, Remember Me. Oh, by the way, I have wanted to do this for ages, and I've treated myself. I have become a Tier 3 Whimsy with Teresa Kogut. So I have joined her Patreon. Once a year, every year I have a Patreon, somebody I patronize on Creative Person, because I think, you know, it's nice to support their small business. As a person with a small business myself, I totally appreciate it. And her Patreon is very good. She's very generous and very kind. And I like Teresa. I like her designs and I like her. So for the new year, I have joined her Patreon. And I think it's quite reasonable. I can't remember how much it is. You can look on there. I didn't want the Tier 4. I thought it was good value, but the truth is I've got enough to stitch. And you do get a free stitch along thing. No. But her secret shop is very good. But then seeing that I'm on a no-buy. Well, I'm not really on a no-buy, but you know what I mean. I need to watch myself. But her secret shop, worth a discount, truly. And you get a discount as well on her Etsy. And she does lovely chit-chat and call-ins and this and this and this. You get lots of nice things. So I think I'm going to enjoy myself being a Patreon of Mrs. Teresa Kogut. Anyway, that one I've had in my stash for a while. And I had started it and I'd made good progress on it. And I absolutely hate the fabric I'm working it on. I don't like it. I like the color because, again, I dyed it. I love it. I love all that. But I do not like the look of my stitches on it. These are all the colors. Lovely Teresa. You can't go wrong with Teresa Kogut. But I really do not like it, what I'm doing. Oh, that was one of the many starts of Consider the Lilies fabric. Pardon. I'm doing it again. I'm coughing all over you. Anyway, there it is. To say I don't like it is the understatement of the world. I like the actual thing, the image, but I don't like my stitches. They're chunky and horrible. It's on a 32 count, so I got dyed by me, but it's 2 threads. So that is going to be a restart. I'm going to be restarting that on a 36 count, 1/2, and that's going to make it smaller as well, because to be fair, guys, it is too big, right? Too big. Too big for me, too big for my little house. Not gonna work. So I'm gonna restart that. So that is in this year's, and it's got another cute needle minder. Okay, so Miss Teresa, she is gonna be restart because I love her, and it's a lovely stitch. I have quite a few of her stuff in my stash too. So last but not least, now this one actually I realize it's not really a restart because it never got started. It is also a Teresa Kogut, and the 2 of them are riding together because they had shared the spoils. When I had abandoned this piece of linen from Consider the Lilies, they shared it. Again, a lovely piece of linen. And this one, I might actually still stitch on this 32 count linen, actually, because it's a smaller sampler. But again, I will do it one thread. So I'm going to test it, and if that will work. And this one is called Strawberry Manor. Lovely. Absolutely beautiful. I like that very much. So that believe it or not, is the end of the WIP parade. We got there. Be it on 2 phones, being filmed with my new flashy lights, new hair, everything. We got there, and of course, dodgy nails. We got there. So yes, I think that is more. Oh, how could I forget? Shocking and shameful. Last but not least, the blessing sampler. Ah, dear. So I started this on the 1st of January as per tradition. And I thought long and hard about this blessing sampler because I had four as runner-ups, but I went with this one. You know why? Last year I did a beautiful blessing sampler which I loved, and I made deadline, but I had to practically become monogamous on it to get it done. And to be honest with you, I have in my head my own agenda. I want the blessing as well. I've got my own agenda, right? And I didn't want to tie up all my time with it because I have a lot going on and I'm enjoying the things I'm doing. So really the blessing sampler needs to slot in with me, yes? To be honest, I haven't done a lot of stitching on it. I need to get my finger out. And in fact, tomorrow I'm going to work on it all day. It's very small. It's by my beloved Brenda Gervais because I love Brenda G with my needle and thread, and I'm doing that one. It's quite small. It's an Adam and Eve. And in fact, it's got these little ones. Now this, I don't know if you can read it. This was like hen's teeth. They're miniature samplers. It's a set of miniature samplers. I got it again at the time from 123 Stitch. Because you can't get it, couldn't get it in the UK. You cannot, it's very difficult to get Brenda G here. A lot of mine, I get them from the US. Right? And it's so sweet. It's not very big. So the stitch count on it, I'll tell you what it is. The chart is very bold, easy to read. It's very small. They had charted it to work on 40 count. But I'm doing mine on 36. Hold on. She's not very big. Is that the Adam and Eve? Yes, Adam and Eve. So it is 63 stitches wide by 95 high. And finished on 40 count, it would be 3 1/8 by 4 3/4 inches. But I am working mine on 36, and I am using my own colors. I'm sort of using the picture as inspiration mostly, and I'm using my own colors. And being my blessing sampler, I decided to indulge it and put some silk and nice things. And I'm quite enjoying it. So it's got a mixture of paint box threads and various things. I'm going to show you it. So last but not least, I've only done a little bit on it, but it didn't take me long. And I can get this finished quite quickly. That's the bottom part. And you can't appreciate the silk. It's got dinky dyes in there. It's got various colors. You can't really appreciate it. I'm really loving it. It's got about, because I'm using some variegated threads, quite a lot of variegated threads. I haven't pulled the colors for Adam and Eve yet. But these are the colors for the base and the fruits. I'll show you some of them. Look at that one. Don't know if it can fit any justice. Let's see. That's beautifully variegated. Ah, that's showing it a bit. That's from Paint Box Threads, hand dyed. She's a lovely lady and runs a lovely business. These ones are Pearl 12, Pearl A12. So you can use them. They're like the equivalent of 1 and a little bit. They're not quite the equivalent of 2 strands, but 1 and a bit. And because I'm using 1 strand of it, it's it. It will work. I use it on 36 count, no problem. It gives a slightly coarser texture, but I like that. Especially on a sampler, I love the different. I like to play with texture. This is another one from her. Another one of her colors. She sells on Etsy, and she also has her own website. Again, if you can, buy from her website. That's her paint box threads, yeah? Because she obviously, there's more on her own website. Plus also, she does not pay a commission, you know? So we support her. I mean, I have nothing against Etsy, but you know? Same with me. A lot of my customers buy from my website rather than Etsy because they know with my art, Arlene Wild Art, my homewares and everything, they know we earn a bit more, you know? They want to support you. They want to support you. And that's a DMC one that I pulled, a DMC 94. Because I have a lot of my own threads, you know. I like to use them. If I see nice ones, I buy them. I don't put them in the main stack. I put them in what I call my own colors. That's another beautiful DMC there. And I'm going to use that on some of the fruits. So yeah, dinky, isn't it? I mean, it's not going to be very big. I need to serge that linen. I've got some dinky dye silk in there. So that is my blessing sampler, which is, I think, a nice place to stop the WIP parade. So if you have endured to the end, I thank you. It's been a long haul. I've been enjoying watching other people's WIP parades and everything. It did take a lot of thought, you know. I really thought long and hard as to how I wanted to structure my WIPs for this year going forward. Like I said, it's not like the legacies are going anywhere. They're still there. And you're looking at, you know, within that legacy WIP pile I have, the others that you haven't seen and we're not looking at this year or at this time, you know, they span over a 4-year period. Which reminds me, actually, I've just realized there is one absent. No, my oldest WIP. Hang on, bear with me. Where is it? Oh, no. Don't tell me I didn't bring it down. Oh, dear. Hang on a minute. Let me have a look. Oh, no. How could I do such a thing? Bear with me a minute. How shocking. My oldest WIP, I cannot find it. I cannot see it. I'm sure I brought it down with all of them. Oh, my. Well, my oldest WIP, which is a sampler, because this video will be released, is not here. It is a sampler by Moira Blackburn. I'll have to put a picture in at the end. That one I've really put a lot of effort when I was ill. Mostly when I wasn't so much, at one point when I was first ill, when I wasn't so bad, because there was a lot of counting. Certainly when I was on the heavy medication, I did put quite a lot of work in that, because that WIP must be finished at the end of Q2. So in 6 months' time, when we review, I would like it finished. Even better still, I would like that sampler finished and framed. Okay? I will get Simon to insert a picture at the end, because it's not here. I thought it was here, but it's not here. I think it is, I don't know where it is. It's somewhere around. I took it off the Lowry to show you, but it's not here. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'm glad I showed it to you. In fact, the other thing I want to say is that, you know, I really appreciate all the support you've given me all on Flosstube. I also would like to apologize for all the people from my last video. I must admit, I haven't done any hearts on all my comments. I've just not been very well. So I'm going to go through and you might get a heart late, but better late than never, right? But I do appreciate, because I read all your comments and I like to comment back. If you comment, the people who have commented will know I normally talk to you, but I just didn't feel up to it, you know. I was just sort of just treading water like you do. You know me, I keep a cheerful spirit and I'm always positive, because at the end of the day, guys, we are all blessed and lucky. You know why? Because we woke up another day. Yes? So if we look at life that way, yes, some days are going to be perfect and some days will not. We know this. And there's always been niggles and annoyances. But for most days of our life, almost every day, there's at least one small thing to be grateful for. And in our case, we are blessed and grateful to have this wonderful hobby and this lovely community. Now, as I said, there were some other things I was going to show you. Oh, do you want to see the Christmas presents? Shall we show you those? And then we'll say goodbye. Yeah, so those of you who are not interested in seeing what I had for Christmas, stitchy things, then I would bid you farewell, because you probably moving on to your other one. And I thank you for tuning in with me, and hopefully you will tune in into the new year to see how I'm progressing with this pile. I think I've got my work cut out for me, haven't I? Keep me off the streets and keep me out of trouble. Those of you who are staying, let me quickly, I'm going to do it as quickly as possible, right? I thought I would show you some of the delights I had for Christmas. Now, my dear daughter, Britt, she bought me on request, and these are absolutely lovely. This is from the Cross Stitch Guild, and they are gold-plated needles. I did mention them in my last Flosstube. They're lovely. So there are some in there. There are 2 different numbers. It tells you there what's in the pack. Fabulous. They're not the cheapest, but they are, well, as I said, I did test drive them, and they have a tiny edge, tiny, on my bow hems, but they are delightful to work with. So I will have to guard these with my life, because my track record with needles is not good. And there are general purpose needles in there as well. So I'll go through it as quickly as I can. These are from 2 little cute little buttons there. I don't know if you can see them. 2 little birds, and they are from just another button company, and they are to go on my Little Sheep Wisdom, which I have got in my stash. Lots of you have seen Little Sheep Wisdom. I think it's from Little House Needlework. Can't remember, but I've not started them, but I have them in my stash. I also got this because I've always wanted this, and the picture is very small, I'm afraid, because really it didn't, apparently when it was printed off, it didn't come with, it's Barbara Anna, it didn't come with a cover picture. You can buy it from her website, and most people will recognize that. It's the 4 Seasons, and so I got the PDF package. From my delightful neighbor Paula. Hello Paula, if you're watching. She's such a sweetie. She came round, right? And you know, we live in the fence, and our neighbors are far away. I mean, if Paula were in our garden, I can't see her and she can't see me. We can see each other's houses, but that's how rural, yeah? Paula, no, the cat pulled this off. I'm gonna have to put it back on. It came with a little thimble. Look at this little sweet little book, and tiny, look how small. I'm gonna put it in the doll's cabinet. And it's a book of quilts, quilt patterns. Isn't it cute? So cute. And I think it's got some pull-out pages. She saw it. She works in one of the thrift shops, a bookshop, which is one of these hospice shops, you know, for cancer support. And she saw this book and she thought of me. So cute. But as if that wasn't cute enough, guess what now? Guess what? Paula doesn't do cross-stitch, right? It's not her thing. Now, you know, we have a caravan. She said she saw this little kit. And she knows I do Flosstube, and she knows how much I love my cross stitch, right? And she said, I bought it. And I thought, oh dear, now I've got to stitch it. And she stitched this so that when we're on the road in our caravan, we can have a little piece of the fence with us, which is so lovely and so thoughtful, so kind. It's one of my treasures. She stitched that. Look, a little Christmas caravan. So she made it into a card, and Simon is going to frame it for me. And then we're going to put it in the caravan, and we will take it everywhere we go. And she said the worst part was she bought it, and she felt so proud of herself because she'd done the cross stitch, and then she read the thing and realized that all the Christmas lights and everything had to be done in Lazy Daisy stitch, and then she had to do French knots as well. But I think she did a fabulous job, and I shall treasure that. And that is going to be on the road with us when we do our shows and when we go on holidays. Whenever we're in the caravan, that's going to live in the caravan. I also had that. It's on linen from the Cross Stitch Guild. Really pleased with that. And this one, which is a bit more involved, also from the Cross Stitch Guild. This has a lot of fancy stitches in. It's got hard hanger and all sorts. The Cross Stitch Guild is so lovely and so good value, I think. It's got beads and everything. It's got silk from Steph Francis, which I had mentioned earlier, and DMC. So that's another one. I'm kind of going speedy. From Amanda, I got this bobbin. I can't wait. Bobbin is definitely, he is going to be included in this year's whips, because I'm going to start him soon. Little bobbin from Stacey Nash. In fact, I want to start some of the animal crackers because I've got quite a few of them in stash. From my lovely customer, Margaret. She sent me that lovely notebook. She said she couldn't help it, wild at heart. She's really nice. She lives in Wales. And it's so I can chronicle all of my activity. So she gets that. From Nick and Amanda again, I got to go with all my Beatrix Potter love. I got that. Which I need to record some of my things. Brittany had gotten me that. It came from Korea. And another lovely Peter Rabbit as well. because I need to sort Peter Rabbit out. That's another story. We'll do a special on that. We're going to have to do a special because there's so much involved. And then Britty also got me this from the Cross Stitch Guild. So she got me this one, which is a lovely, lovely kit. I can't wait to start that, but I'm not starting it now. I'm going to be it myself. Good value. Look, it even comes with a pair of scissors and beads and everything. The Cross Stitch Guild, highly recommend. Jane Greenough. Fantastic. We're nearly there. I've only got 1 or 2 things I want to show you. Now, these are things that weren't Christmas presents. These are ones that I bought myself. Now, this one came, actually, I didn't buy that one. This came as part of the Peter Rabbit subscription. Because sometimes they have some specials. You can opt out, but I'm glad they did send me this. And it's got all sorts in there. All sorts of Beatrix Potter stuff, all sorts of fun things. See if I can find one which hasn't got a chart. And it's all divided up into seasons as well. All sorts of things. Some of them like that one, you know. If you know you had a child in your life, you could do that. All sorts of interesting things, actually. Some of them are not actually Beatrix Potter. It's got some nice, interesting articles as well. This one is nice. Hold on a minute. It's got the alphabet, which is quite good. I love this one. I love, love, love. Love, absolutely love, love. Look at that. Love that. So, yes, some nice things. So, that was a pleasant surprise, which I hadn't expected. But it has some lovely articles. All sorts of stuff, lifestyle things, all sorts of things. Things about gardening in there. You're gardening this spring. All sorts of stuff. I'm quite enjoying the Hackett, actually. It's all right. We are going to do a review on it, though. I bought myself. Now, I bought this some time ago. I forgot to show you that book. I've seen a few people showing it. You can get it on Amazon. Very good book. Very nice. It's by Leslie Watkins. Wilkins, even. And it's all Quakers. And it's got a whole load of patterns in here. Things to stitch. I'm trying to see, like, I don't want to show you the chart. Let me see that. That's the smalls. And that one is in monochrome, but you could do it in your colors. This is another block. So these are blocks that you can either stitch as smalls or put them together. But it also has some full-on samplers in there as well. Just this one. Oh, I love this one. Look at that one. You see? Well worth buying. It is on Amazon. Is that the same one? No, this is another one, A Token of Love. All right. So you get the idea. There's lots in there. It's a lot. It's good value for money. Oh, actually, here's some of them as well. Yeah. Definitely, definitely worth buying if you like Quakers and you like samplers. And last but not least, now there are some other things I have here. But I am going to save them for next time because I think we've run on long enough. This one I had showed you before. This is a really nice book if you like the style of Jane Greenough and you like the Cross Stitch Guild. There are quite a few nice things. That one is in there. That one, that's the antique, I think. And that is the one that's in the book. But it's got various things. It's got lots of techniques in here as well. Very nice book. And it even has, is that in there? Oh my goodness, I just spotted something, guys. Hold on, bear with. It has a whole section about Quaker samplers, a whole chapter on that. And there is a Quaker in here. It's not the same as my Christmas Quaker that I got. I'm not sure anything. Yeah, that's in there as well. So a nice book, some nice books if you're interested. Yeah, and the last thing I was going to show you, I'm going to make sure I save the other things for next time because I don't want you to miss out because I brought some nice patterns to show you, but, you know, we just run out of time. So we'll do that in the next one. Okay, something to look forward to. But when I was not well and in bed, I have a Lowry. So sometimes I stitch by in hand. I often stitch in hand, actually, especially with linen, especially if I'm in my bed. Because as you know, I stitch in the morning. Every morning I wake up, I stitch in bed, and then I will stitch down here or whatever. But I like to start my morning with a little stitching, even if it's half an hour. And I often will stitch in hand. Sometimes I stitch on a frame, a little frame, a hoop, or my Q-snap. Mostly I use hoops because we've already talked about the Q-snap. I like Q-snaps, but I find it very difficult to manage the pulling off of the cuff. But when I was not well right, I started off stitching with the Laura, which I have a long arm on it, so I can pull it over the bed, and that's fine. But it meant I had to sit in a certain position the whole time, and it was a little awkward. But I also have this, which I meant to show you ages ago. Now this is a Nerge, okay, and it's a lap stand, and I use it quite a bit. It's well built. I use that quite a lot if I'm bedbound. If my sickle cell is playing me up or something has happened, or you know, you can use it in a chair, but it's smaller, right? And it folds right down. So I'm gonna fold it down. It's very adjustable. Everything moves. This part moves as well. The top, you know, where the hoop goes, you can put it at different angles. So folds down quite conveniently. It's not too heavy. Beautifully made. You can buy it online from Nerge. Now, that's the good part about it. And it's lovely and it's convenient, and I'm glad I have it. But just be aware, if you are going to buy it, that this is the only thing I think is a shame. So it fits. I mean, it is designed by Nerge for Nerge. It will take, so this is where the hoop goes, yeah? Now, this is a Nerge hoop. Nerge also does wooden, round, traditional hoops, but that's a Nerge, right? One of the types of Nerge. Now, you will see a lot of imitators of these. I would be very careful if I were you. If you buy this type, I would advise buying Nerge. They're not that expensive. They're very good. They're very toned, very light. I love them, all right? That fits beautifully in this thing, all right? Perfect, 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 perfect. You screw that bit up, no problem. It stays there, you have got no problem. Not so good with the round ones. It's all right if you have a narrow, skinny one, but I like a chunky one. You know, a chunky hoop, round hoop, right? Wooden hoop. And Nerge does sell the skinny, which is their brand, and they also sell the chunky one. The chunky one, don't like being in there. Q-snap, forget it. That ain't going in there. So that's the only thing I would say. It is limited in scope for what will actually fit in here and what will, because see, the problem I think as well, apart from animal in it in there, you see, that's the only thing. If I turn that, can you see it? That's coming up, that little scooting, this thing comes up. It's not a very big contact point. So you can put a wooden hoop in there, especially one of those chunky ones, but I find it keeps sliding out. Just something to be aware of. But as an item, I would recommend it because I love it, especially if you already have Nerges. I don't think a Q-snap will fit in there. I'm almost sure it won't. However, on the Lowry, I don't have that problem. So yeah, so folks, that's it. I am going to wish you toodle pip and enjoy your stitching. Enjoy the next Flosstubes you go on to watch. And, you know, hopefully we're going to have a glorious year. And I wish you all the best until we meet again. Bye-bye. Bye.